Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Governor, are these your fans that are blowing around up here? As long as you're comfortable. I am happy to be here on behalf of Onondaga County for a tremendous announcement, and it is the latest in the proof that we have about how things have really changed in upstate New York. I don't have my acknowledgement card, but I think I can do it anyhow. I know we're joined here by Assemblyman Al Sturpey, President of the Syracuse Common Council. Van Robinson is with us. Clay Town Supervisor Damian Yolatowski. We have college presidents joining us, and we have our Red Sea, our Regional Economic Development Council co-chairs, Rob Simpson and Danielle LaRocca-Arena. And we have the governor's staff here. And as I said, we are really excited to welcome Governor Cuomo back to Onondaga County because he has had a laser-like focus on upstate New York. He has asked us at the local level to identify projects that we know we can sustain and that will help Central New York and this region thrive. And there really isn't a better example of this than JMA, where we stand today. I have known John Mezzalingua and his family for many years. They have employed a lot of people in Central New York for many years, and they are a very philanthropic family. They're great corporate citizens, and I just had the opportunity to have John remind me that he started 4.5 years ago with 111 jobs and now has over 700 people employed in New York State. And you will hear from John as well as our guest of honor, Governor Cuomo. But first, I have the honor of introducing New York State Economic, ESDC, Empire State Development Corporation CEO, Howard Zemsky.
All right, good morning everyone, great to be here. Thank you, County Executive. I often say that economic development is a team sport, and we have no better partner in economic development in the state than County Executive Joni Mahoney from Onondaga County. Give her a hand. You know, the irony is that JMA, they make the wireless communications and enable wireless communications, which is exactly what allows companies to be even more mobile than they otherwise might be. So it's particularly gratifying that a company like theirs chose Syracuse, because they, like so many businesses, have so many choices all around the country and all around the world. And this is a company that is, as Joni says, only 5 years old, and they have hired over 600 people and from around the country. So it's great. Not only are they hiring people who live right here in New York, but they're also bringing more people to New York from the Midwest, from the East, from the West Coast, internationally. This is exactly the kind of company we want to help retain and grow. They do such an amazing job. The governor's economic development strategy for Central New York and for all of upstate is comprehensive, and it's successful, and that success is demonstrated today. So you see us investing in downtowns like we do in Syracuse, like we do in other cities, towns, and villages in Central New York, bringing millennials back and keeping millennials here. Hotel Syracuse, Icon Tower, and other projects like that. You see us investing in the workforce through the Excelsior Scholarship Program, which assures a skilled workforce for generations to come. We invest in the pipeline, like Say Yes to Education. We invest in innovation, like Tech Garden and all the companies associated with Tech Garden, early stage businesses. And we invest in tradable sectors of the economy. Just like JMA, this company exports its products made right here in Liverpool in Central New York all over the world. So this is really a model, and I had the opportunity to talk with John earlier. He's a Syracusean, he's a Central New Yorker, he's extremely proud and very successful. He could be anywhere, he chose to be here. There's no better vote of confidence than where people invest their money. And there's no more important part of the economy, as the governor says, than the private sector. He leads by example. We are inspired and impressed by everything he does and all the associates of JMA. So it's a pleasure to introduce John Mezzalingua, CEO of JMA.
Thank you, Howard. So we are very proud of our deep roots here in Central New York, but we haven't been here that long. As was mentioned, we're about 4.5 years old, but as a family, we've been here for generations, and we're very proud of being here. And when I have town halls with our company, and we speak about what the future of our business is, we talk that the wireless industry, the things that we're doing here, we can impact the wireless industry right from here. And arguably, it's the most exciting industry right now around any country. It's where everything is focused on. So I think when we think about Central New York and competing, we can recruit people here, we can hire local people here, we can do advanced manufacturing here on all sides of you. There's examples of this, and we're committed, and we feel like after 4.5 years and 700 people in this area, 1,000 overall, that really we're just starting. So I'm very bullish and excited about the area, the people that we have, the industry. I think all things are aligning to really create something really, really special in this area. So I think we're very grateful for the support of Howard Zemsky and the governor. Very happy that you are here, all that New York State is doing to help us compete globally. We compete not in a regional way, but in a global way. We ship everywhere, and it's essential to have a partner with the governor and the state equal to that competition that we face overall. So very appreciative. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joni. Glad that you're here. We have recently redone this whole facility. So we've been here 4.5 years, and it's our second renovation. So we're happy to have you see this and have you experience what we all are excited about every day. So I want to thank you again for being here, and it is now my pleasure to introduce the 56th Governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. It is truly my pleasure to be here. What a beautiful facility. First, the York County Executive Joni Mahoney, who's just one of the most effective government leaders in the state of New York, period. Let's give her a round of applause. To the Presidente of the Empire State Development Corporation, Howard Zemsky, and also a nice guy. Let's give him a round of applause. To John Mezzalingua, that's obviously an Irish name, Mezzalingua. Howard Zemsky did not do the name justice when he said it. He sort of stumbled. There's too many vowels in the name for Zemsky. He does not do well with too many vowels. You have to say it like it's an opera. Mezzalingua. You have to bring that Italian inflection to it. Mezzalingua. John is the product of a beautiful Central New York family that has been a successful family, but also a great neighbor, great philanthropic family, and has done beautiful things for people all throughout Central New York. And he is carrying on his family's legacy in every way. You just walk through this facility and you get a sense of the excitement and the professionalism of the operation. As John said, this is about the future. This is the cutting edge technology. This is where the world is going. And I think you're just going to see continued progress for the company. It has great leadership. It's in the right market space, and we are just so glad and so proud that John decided to do this in the great state of New York. So let's give him a round of applause. We have our Commissioner of Labor, Reardon, who's with us today. Thank you, Commissioner, for being with us. And my colleague from the New York State Assembly, Al Sturpey, pleasure to be with you, Assemblyman. Van Robinson, all the other elected officials, thank you very much. Today really is a snapshot of what we're doing in New York. We talk about realizing the new New York reality, which is a transformation for state government in Albany. The new recognition and the new reality is that if a state is going to compete, the state has to be pro-business. And for too long, New York took business for granted. I call it the hangover New York arrogance, that we were New York, of course business has to stay here. Where are they going to go? If you look at a map, and you look at New York on a map, and then you look around New York on a map, you will see other shapes, little squares, rectangles, triangles. Those are called other states. And if you push people hard enough and torture people, they will actually leave New York and go to one of those other states. They have been proven to be habitable. They're not New York, but people will go. And for many years, New York State was anti-business, raising taxes, raising regulations, making it difficult on business, making it difficult for young people. And you saw an exodus of business and young people. We did the exact opposite. We reduced government spending down to the lowest increases in history, believe it or not. Year to year, the state budget only goes up 2%. It has never before gone up only 2%. Not since they've been keeping numbers. When you control government spending, then you get to reduce taxes. And when you get to reduce taxes, you create more of a pro-business environment. So we reduce taxes for every person in the state of New York. The tax rate for every person is lower today than it was 5 and 6 years ago. Tax rate for the middle class is the lowest rate since 1947. Tax rate for corporations, the lowest rate since 1968. Tax rate for manufacturing companies, the lowest rate since 1917. And businesses get it. Businesses respond. Second new reality is that all the other states are competing for businesses. It is constant competition. You'll have a business like JMA. John will be sitting at his desk, and he'll get a call from all other states offering incentives and seductions to come to their state. And it is a constant competition, and that's what Empire State Development Corporation does, and that's what Howard Zemsky does, trying to attract businesses to New York, trying to attract and keep the businesses we have in New York. And the other states are in active competition. So you have to continually revise your pitch, your incentives, your sanctions to keep businesses here. And we didn't get that. We just assumed that businesses would stay. No, you have to fight for it every day. And the other new reality that the state government has recognized is that upstate matters. Upstate matters. And for many years, the legislature in the state did not get that. Why? Because the legislature is predominantly made up of people from downstate, New York City, Long Island. Legislators, as Assemblyman Sturpey will tell you, are about representing their district. And when you represent New York City or you represent Long Island, your goal is to bring things back to New York City and Long Island. And that left upstate out of the equation. And upstate, frankly, was the area that actually needed the help. Upstate New York was going through the economic transformation. Upstate New York was losing manufacturing jobs. New York City was doing well. And all during those decades when people and businesses were leaving upstate, the legislature, the state government was nowhere to be found. And that was wrong. And that compounded the problem and the loss of upstate. We have turned that 180 degrees. And I am so proud that one of my greatest accomplishments is there is no governor in the history of the state of New York who has done more for upstate New York than our administration. And we're righting that wrong. Central New York has a Regional Economic Development Council. We don't tell Central New York what to do. We say to Central New York, you come up with a business plan that's designed by your business community, and we'll then help fund that plan. The state has provided over $3.5 billion to Central New York for their Central New York Rising Plan. And you see the results everywhere. You go past the State Fair, you see us investing in the State Fair, which hadn't had an investment in decades. And it's a shame, and it was long overdue. But we're rebuilding the State Fair. Last year, the State Fair had the greatest attendance in the history of the State Fair. And we're just starting. You have Saab that is now located in Central New York that is doing all sorts of exciting work with sensors. You have the Griffin Sensor Company. The Central New York area is a leader in the drone testing area. That is another technology that I think has an exciting future. Welch Allen is investing in their plant, and those are great jobs, and that is a great company, and they're doubling down on Central New York. We have the Hotel Syracuse that has finally come back to life and brought the history with it, and is a reminder of what made Syracuse special in the first place. The Terrakeet Company, Ascension Gaming Company. You see that Central New York, rather than having an exit sign, now has an entrance sign. And businesses are coming back. And today, and JMA is just another example, an exciting example of that. You have 288 new jobs that have been created here at JMA, 319 retained jobs, a total of 607 good, well-paying jobs with a future and a company with a future. The state has invested $8 million. JMA invested $34 million. You see the state-of-the-art facility that they've built, and the future is going to be brighter still. The arrows are pointed in the right direction. I know it's been a long slog in upstate. I know it's been a long slog in Central New York, but today really is a different day. And the proof is in the pudding. The state of New York recently hit a new record where we created more private sector jobs than have ever existed in the state of New York before, 8 million jobs. So, Central New York, when we started, the unemployment rate was 8 and change. Now it's 4% and change. So it's half roughly what it was before. USA Today recently rated the Syracuse area the top 10 in the nation for millennials who are looking to start a life and start a career. And U.S. News and World Report said that the Syracuse area is one of the top 20 cities in the nation to live in, believe it or not. So none of that would have happened just a few short years ago. And it happened because a lot of people believed, a lot of people would not give up, a lot of people have invested and spent a lot of time. There's been great leadership, and a lot of people are like John Mezzalingua, who were born here, who love New York, who believe in New York, and were willing to stay and fight, and they're winning that fight. So we just have to keep doing what we're doing, because we are in the right track, and congratulations to all of you on a great success today.